Our goal today is to stop wasting space. Hi there, I'm Alexandrabeuter and welcome to a spring 2025 video all about decluttering, cleaning, organizing, and I'm gonna make it as attainable as possible today because a lot of you guys are overwhelmed by the thought of decluttering. You think it has to be this massive project that takes all weekend, and you absolutely do not have to think about it that way. Starting small is the best way to do it because once you get started, you're gonna be really motivated to continue and keep it going, and you're gonna be amazed by the small projects that we tackle today, how much stuff I actually end up decluttering and how much better it makes my life. That is definitely what I want to talk about in this video. The small projects add up and they make your life better. So let's dive in with that first project. So this area is what really inspired this video in the first place because this is a project I have been meaning to tackle for quite a while, and this is how we have managed to organize my son's artwork, which obviously is not organized at all. It's just a bunch of papers thrown in here. There's even like a lap board I forgot about that he could be using in the car, and all in all, it's a little bit ridiculous, but I also know that this will not take a long time. So that's what I mean when I say start with small projects that are very rewarding, because this is something that stresses me out every day, and today is the day we're gonna tackle it together. Now there were a lot of surprises as I was decluttering this drawer. I found part of a Halloween costume. I also found some kitchen appliances I've been looking for forever, a bunch of really cute artwork, and I was trying to go through everything one by one because let's face it, there's multiples of so many different things. We definitely don't need to hold on to every single piece of artwork, but I have a habit of doing that, so we end up getting rid of almost a garbage bag full of stuff, which I'm surprised by because this drawer isn't even super big to begin with. So it just shows you how much excess clutter is in your home, especially in those small spaces. And as I continue to go through all of this artwork, I want to remind you guys, when it comes to decluttering, progress is progress. Don't think that you have to do this major project and finish it in one day. Sometimes just setting a timer for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, if it's a really big project, will just show you how much more you can get done than you even realize. And sometimes that kind of shorter time span will encourage you to start a project you otherwise wouldn't have. So this took a couple of minutes, but it was so worth it. And there's that blender down there I was looking for. I'm gonna pull that out soon and put that somewhere else because it shouldn't have been in here in the first place. There's more back here that I can't reach, so I'm using tongs. This is how you know you need to declutter. And now all of the artwork I'm keeping is going back in this drawer. Guys, I ended up using less than a third of the drawer for the artwork that I'm keeping, so I'm not gonna have to revisit this category for a very long time. Eventually I will do a storage bin, but this is why I want to encourage you guys to tackle those small projects because this is gonna make my life so much easier knowing it's done. I'm not going to have to work on this category for a long time to come. And now I have extra space for this blender that I told you I've looked for it for a long time. now let's get into some kitchen decluttering, but first I wanted to share these gem bites with you guys, and Gem is sponsoring this video. I thought this was a really cool concept. I wanted to try it, and we are taking care of our home, so we're also gonna take care of our bodies. Now, this is a functional daily multivitamin formulated with real food ingredients. Did you ever hear that? It has 20 plus vitamins, minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, superfoods, all in one delicious bite. This flavor is citrus and ginger. Look at that. They even have a scientific advisory board of nutrition experts. I honestly have noticed more energy. My skin's been looking really good, and I'm definitely less bloated too. It honestly tastes like a cookie to me. It's like a really delicious sweet treat. And I just love that this is not your average synthetic vitamin. This is real food ingredients that have gone through clinical studies, very nutrient dense. So much research goes into every single ingredient. So I know I'm doing something 10 times better for my body by taking a real food vitamin every day as opposed to just a basic synthetic one. And also, I know a lot of you guys have an HSA or FSA account with your health insurance, so you can use those funds for this too. And you guys can get a deal on your first month of Gem. Just go to my link below and use my code Beauter at checkout. So there are two areas in this kitchen. I feel like I have to declutter regularly. It only takes a minute, and if I don't, I honestly cannot even shut these cabinets or drawers. So let me show you the categories. First up is coffee cups and water bottles. We have them in the same area, as you can see. Now we get them as gifts, we get them as souvenirs, a lot of different reasons, and it gets out of hand quick. And it's been a couple times lately where we open this and one falls. So if you can relate, let's go through these together. Now, sometimes giving yourself little rules really will help you to declutter regularly. I cannot help it, guys. I'm a trend lover. I love my Stanley tumblers, as basic as they are, but I will not allow myself to even consider another one because I have nowhere to put them. So if I do want one from a new collection, if I feel like it's very me, first I need to declutter this entire area before I even allow myself to think about it. And from here, I gathered at least 5 coffee cups and I think 3 tumblers. So I would call that a success. The other area is this kid cabinet. We have so many water bottles, school lunch bins, snack items, souvenirs, and I also had some trouble lately getting this drawer opened and closed. So the sign that it's time to do this is here. While we tackle this drawer, I want to tell you that decluttering and reorganizing are two different things. So if I was to completely reorganize, I would pull everything out, but I know sometimes that's a little bit overwhelming to even think about. So for projects like today that are smaller, I am just decluttering. I am pulling out items that are old or that we haven't used. And I did realize I wasn't even using this current setup as effectively as I could. So I ended up switching the lunch boxes to a smaller container, and I had a much larger container for water bottles that I really needed the space for. So a small change, but honestly, it's gonna make our day-to-day life a lot easier, actually having room for every single item that we need in here. Look at that, we are done. I got rid of another handful of items in here. I decided to store the lids on everything because it allowed me to have so much more space. So our next quick declutter is gonna be over here. Now we have this really big cabinet with a couple boxes we need to get rid of. And this can hold so much stuff, but honestly, I don't even know what's in here in the first place. So I really want to set this up as like an art cabinet, an arts and crafts cabinet for my son because I was so looking forward to having this space. And I definitely have not been able to utilize this to its fullest potential quite yet. So since we have some of this leftover stuff over here, here from all of the artwork. And then we have some random things out on the counter that are the same category of items. I figured it's the perfect opportunity to set that up over here. The more I watch this footage, the more I realize I was wasting so much space not utilizing this cabinet because it really is pretty big and I love that it's so versatile. So as I pull everything out, I'm just doing a little mental checklist of our day-to-day life, current activities that my son is doing, and this is just going to be a really great activity cabinet to where I can pull things out easily. He's playing with every day, but I can also easily put them away at the end of the day too. Realized is all of these arts and craft bins or little baskets in the playroom we really don't use because he doesn't do arts and crafts in there. So I wanted to have a catch-all for those craft supplies I can store in this cabinet. I think it's a lot more realistic for our everyday life. And when it comes to decluttering and organizing, spring cleaning, all of those things, it really is about looking at your day-to-day life, figuring out what's working, what's not, and then readjusting as you go. I did want one for life things at the bottom, so our vacuum accessories are gonna go in here too. Okay, look at this, so much more functional, and I know we'll actually use this every single day. So his arts and crafts supplies, his Legos, a couple activities down here, and then the miscellaneous bin that you guys know I love so much in that corner. And next up, we need to declutter this cabinet in my office. I really want to put something different here. There's makeup, there's camera equipment, there's a bunch of different things, but regardless, all of it does not fit anymore. There's stuff on my table in here, and it worked for a while, but it's time for something new. The main reason we are doing this is because I decided I really want a makeup vanity in here with lights and a big mirror and then a desk with a bunch of storage, and I think it will give me a lot more places to put my stuff, if that makes sense. I just think it'll be a lot easier on a day-to-day basis, but I told myself you are not buying it until this is done, and it's been a couple of weeks, so it's time to tackle this now. And as I pull everything out of here, I am keeping my eye on the prize because I told you I've been putting off doing this, but I really want to use this space in a much more efficient way than I have been. And look at this huge mess. I do not want this to happen on an everyday basis. I want that makeup vanity so the makeup and hair stuff can go there and this table can be solely for work. So I just grabbed some organizers. I have an organization closet upstairs where I keep all of my organizers, and you guys know I love a versatile style. Whoopsie. That way I can use them for a lot of different things. So I'm gonna start sorting makeup as I pull it out. That way this hopefully doesn't happen again for a very long time. One of the pros about decluttering is finding things you didn't realize you had, like that stapler. I've been looking for a stapler for so long. I didn't think I had one at all. And then also all of this arts and crafts supplies. This is kind of like the adult arts and crafts, the acrylic paints that I use for my house projects, but I'm gonna store that in this cabinet too. Here's another prime example of why I needed to do this. How many of us have headphone boxes, or especially phone boxes, that we do not need anymore? A lot of people hold on to this stuff, obviously myself included, so let's recycle it. And And I told you progress is progress, so I'm going to store the makeup in all of these acrylic bins. That way it's ready to go to put in the makeup vanity. I'm not sure whether or not I will actually be using these in the vanity, if they will fit in the drawers or not, but regardless, I know everything in these bins I want to keep, and it's all separated and organized. So progress is progress, even though they might not end up this way in the vanity. We're almost done with the makeup organization, and then I'm gonna deal with the camera equipment, get it all cleaned up in here, show you the after, and honestly how much bigger it looks without that buffet over there. And also we're gonna do a little furniture rearranging since we will have the opportunity to do that. Even more packaging to this recycle bag with all of the artwork, and then I also am just going to continue moving everything off of this buffet so we can get it out of here. I thought it would be here for forever, but you guys know I like to move things around. I just think it's so fun and so motivating. So if you're someone who's had the same furniture set up in your living room or bedroom for a long time, I really encourage you to switch it up. Sometimes that's the motivation you need to declutter in the first place. Look at that open area. I'm just going to tackle the other side of the room, and I'm so glad I got this done. And now we're all freshened up in here, ready for that new makeup vanity, and I have a realistic amount of products over here already. I know will fit inside of it. And now let's test out a little furniture swap. I really want to see what you guys think about this because I think it might utilize the space so much better. So this is my shoe basket I have had in this area for a long time. I've honestly loved it. I love that you can't tell that there's shoes inside, but some of you guys definitely do not like this basket. I honestly feel like you guys either love it or hate it, but I wanted to try that buffet over here and see what you guys think about it. So I'm just vacuuming the floor, and I'm also going to switch out the rug. We're gonna try a completely different look, and I'm really curious to hear what all of you think.
Check it out.
I'm laying down a rug that feels a lot more springy. I'm also going to add a lamp on this table since there's an outlet behind it, and I don't want a lamp and then another lamp, so we're gonna pull the one that's by the couch there and just see how it looks with one only on this table. So what are we thinking? Do we like this more than the shoe basket? I know the rug is a little bit of an odd size. I'm thinking I could just do like one by the door, or I could get a runner that's a little bit longer, but I just wanted to put something there for now. So let me know, do you guys like the shoe basket? Do you like this one? I know I can probably store even more shoes in this one actually, so maybe this is a better idea, but I still want to play around with what's on top too. And that is officially everything I was able to accomplish today. I hope you guys realize that the small decluttering projects can absolutely add up to a lot of stuff and make your home a lot more functional and even more enjoyable to be in. If you did like this, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'd love to have you. Also write a comment down below if you enjoyed this and let me know what you want to see next. And I will see all of you guys right here in a few days in a brand new video.